Live from twitch.tv/fartingtart. It's Argent Crucible. Ba 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 da. Ba ba da ba.
Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba.
Come on,
Alrighty.
down, etc., etc.
Yeah. All right. So,
I nearly throw up all of myself.
okay. Just as a general reminder, you guys do still have that collective pool of inspiration to use in any encounters for any skill checks. You just have to agree on whether or not you guys want to use them in that particular instance.
And how many of those do we have?
I believe I had 3 for you last time.
Yep.
We can add to that number if someone can describe for me what all happened last session.
How specific do we have to go deep in?
Maybe let's include a couple of names if we can. If it needs to be a collaborative effort, I'll still award the point.
All right. Y'all mind if I take a crack at this? And anybody else fills in the blanks?
Go for it.
Do it.
On the previous session, the party was immediately brought in to be contracted for a mission. This mission, of course, being an infiltration mission towards an occupied enemy territory. Of course, due in part of the mission's notoriety and, of course, the discreetness, 2 options were available. One could allow through a singular passage, or one could go through the towns, or the city itself. Unfortunately, the party had to encounter a vampiric problem in the form of a certain woman coming up forward, as well as a captured spy. The party managed to dispatch the vampire, and of course they did, however, manage to flee, and currently now we are dealing with the aftermath of the entire situation.
There wasn't a single name in that.
Yes, I said fill in the blanks! I'm just laying the crust down. Somebody
Specifically
has to...
requested the names.
My boy!
That's fine. The
I
overarching
put... What?
the overarching story of what happened is just as important as the names. I'd argue that it's more so.
Does this mean we get a point?
I can get I will offer a point to anyone who can recall the name of the vampire countess that you guys fought last session.
Did remember her name, and it's just slipping my mind right now.
I'm gonna assume.
Isabella Moriarty.
I was about to say I wasn't sure if it was legal for Gaia and I to answer, considering.
Honestly, I'll allow it.
Yeah.
Hooray!
So you guys have an additional point in your pool of. I mean, we could call them hero points, couldn't we?
Fuck it,
Sure.
why not?
Yeah.
Yeah. Something.
Alright. So, in truth, as your party had accepted, basically contract by the Libraval militia to infiltrate whatever the hell the judges, nobles of the Sanguarian court have going on in the town of Orain, you encountered one such noblewoman. And I believe we ended the session right on her death. So I think that's probably one of the best places we can pick right back up. as the mist trails away into the rain of what's probably now maybe getting close to midday, or midday to the middle of the afternoon. You guys are currently out most of you are out in front of the mine that has served as a sort of base for the Libraval, or at least its upper echelons. What would you guys like to do?
Aurora would exit the mine at this point and be like, "Is everything all right out here?"
No, I do believe we've handled the situation. And Virgil just kind of puts his warhammer back up on his back and just goes, nothing too serious.
Oh, wonderful. Aurora said, having contributed nothing.
I wouldn't go that far.
Yes, I'm thinking.
They know we are here.
Chapter 1.
Well, one of them knew that we were here. And we've sent her back somewhere.
Back, as in, can return and tell others. This place is no longer safe.
That
Do you not
assumes
remember?
that's all
She
they
said that
know.
she said that she was from, not from Argent. She was from further north. I smelt her essence traveling that way. However, whether or not she will return to Argent or to her own home is to be determined. But you are correct. We do not have time to lose.
We move then, I guess.
I would rather have time to regain my strength. I can only call upon the spark within every so often.
Drinks then.
Still, at least we know what we'll be dealing with.
Also, I believe you mentioned your name was Miss Verena. You asked me if my countenance had ever seen me ostracized. I trust what you have seen now is answer enough.
Indeed.
Aurora would lean over to, I'm sorry, J. Frost, you just said it and I completely blanked. What's your character's name again? I'm sorry.
Virgil.
Virgil. Thank you. My brain went Vesper and I said, nope, that's my character.
I lean into myself.
Aurora would lean over to Virgil and be like, what happened exactly?
A little bit of a scuffle. Nothing too serious. Granted, there was
No,
a
I
little
mean,
bit
what
of
did
rage.
he do?
Oh, he, let's just say he went a little bit animalistic.
Oh.
You did see him catch on fire and turn into a big flaming wolf man.
Did I?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you were standing in like the tunnel, and I've been pretty much in this spot the
Oh,
whole time.
oh
You
yeah, I
had
guess I
line of
would have
sight.
seen it then. All right, never mind.
You
I
had
retract
line
my
of sight.
question.
I mean, it's still a valid question. Like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, you did see. You were in the tunnel
Okay, cool.
and had line of sight while I was burning myself alive.
I was able to perceive.
Yeah.
Should we be concerned about this inner spark of yours?
No, I have full control over it.
Very well. One less thing to worry about.
And it is very useful, especially when dealing with monsters that appear to not particularly enjoy the flames. Which is why I suggest that we allow myself time to recharge, as it were. I have a feeling I will need it.
I see no problem with this. Just all we need to do is make sure that we're well kept.
There is one thing that I want to take care of before we go any further, though.
Being?
Above game. Can everyone roll a d20?
Sure, fuck it.
Can I choose not to?
15.
14.
17.
Give me just 1 second.
4.
7.
Verena reaches into her mouth and begins to tug on something. After a little effort she appears to extract a tooth which she prompt hands to Rockman.
Oh.
There is a visible look of
Oh.
disgust on Aurora's face.
Splash has
You'll have
got
to
that.
work harder for that.
Splash has got that like one eye squint thing going on.
You hear a voice. This way we can communicate if our group is separated again.
Oh, jeez. Alright then.
Interesting.
Wait. Only I hear that, right? So I just reacted to nothing.
Yes.
Yeah. And I will not explain.
Keep it safe.
Rockman will put the tooth away and keep it secret.
About this time where Anton will come out of the mouth of the mine shaft, for lack of a better term. I do not suppose that there is any chance that we could get this Erita and our asset inside. I could use. I'm not exactly the most physically gifted.
Here, I shall lend a hand.
As the kind of struggling to stay on his feet, but kind of leaning up against one of the nearby trees is the spy that was, who looks at this point very exhausted. Probably like he's been traveling without much rest. You all can discern that much without a check. There are just about as many bags under his eyes as there are under Anton's at this point.
Would I be able to roll a medicine check?
Absolutely.
Okay. Look it. 22.
In game, this man has lost no small amount of blood. Considering one of the creatures you just fought, I think you can make make an assumption above game about what has happened to this man.
Mm-hmm. It seems you have major blood loss. Let me see if I can do something to help you with that. And Virgil will go up to him and kind of... Would I be able to administer some medical attention?
You will need unless you're using a spell, you will need a successful medicine check, and even then, there is the fact that it's something that can be helped with time. If you still want to use a spell, go ahead. Otherwise, that's a decision for you to make.
I'll still do a medicine check, but I'll cast like a guidance on myself if that's allowed.
Yeah.
So I'll use guidance, I'll roll a medicine check, and that's an extra d4 on top of that.
All right.
That is a 26, d4, 28.
Okay. He does stumble a little bit as you kind of take him, and you eventually take him. You have the opportunity to take him back with this medicine check. You're taking him back to the sort of quarters that you were, the sort of general barrack that you were provided deeper into the mine.
Mm-hmm.
You're able to get this man down and get him some food and some light broth that's been on a kettle. And he's looking like with time and some rest, he's going to be able to, get over this. Thank you. You don't. I'm afraid I don't even know you. What was your name? The whole lot of you outside. You're all new people. People I haven't seen here before.
It is all right. My name is Virgil. A pleasure to meet you. Here. And he kind of just gives him a little bit more of like some cool water to drink. You'll need this. Especially considering the fact that your hemoglobin levels should be lower.
Thank you. The guild mouse is the seneschal is he around? I have a report for him.
If you are to at least report it for you. I will be completely honest. It's going to take a while for you to recover completely.
I'm going to have to be at the best strength I can be, especially if what I observed was true.
Alright then.
He needs to be here to hear. He needs to be here to hear this, and thanks to your assistance, I don't think I'm going anywhere insane.
Yeah, let me see if I can grab him. And Virgil will go and grab the gentleman.
As for the rest of you, you see Virgil kind of take the spy that was identified as such by Lady Moriarty and by Anton as one of the Lieberval's agents. You're left out there for a couple of minutes before you see Virgil return. And Anton is, at this point, kind of checking out the surroundings of the town. As he and Erita return, they return in time to meet Virgil and the rest of you.
So, I suppose, are as Virgil kind of comes out, the one that came with the one we just dispatched. What did he say?
Virgil will relay everything that has been said, if that is all right.
Yeah.
DM.
Yeah.
So, saving time and exposition, Virgil will relay all information.
Okay.
Lynn, it sounds like we are in for some critical moves.
Most certainly. If anything, we're definitely going to be dealing with some troublesome times. But we should be alright.
If it's all the same to the rest of you, I would. If he has asked for me, I would suggest that you, considering how much stock I'm putting in your assistance, it would be ill-advised to. It would be ill-advised to exclude you from this report.
Then it sounds like it is back into the mine.
At least for a moment. You raised a good point. This Marin is already en route to contact our dwarven allies. Like it or not, I think things are being set in motion that cannot be turned back.
It wouldn't surprise me. It seems like everything is about to come to a head.
If that is the case, then we must prepare for the oncoming storm.
Anton, at that point, will kind of dip his head. Yeah, let's keep watch. Give us some time in case we have more guests. Erita, the silver dragonborn nods curtly as Anton heads in. You are all welcome to follow. And
Most
if you
definitely.
do, yeah.
Splash absolutely would.
I think Aurora would. Keyword think.
Yeah.
Virgil has no qualms.
All right. What about the Rock Man?
Yeah, sure. Why the hell not? One day I will get this Taz voice down.
Coming with.
Okay. As you all head into the barrack, Anton leads you in, and the sort of dampness of the upper excavation of this, what was at one point probably an iron mine for the town. It is still very much damp with the rain outside, but there's a little more heat to the air. Especially considering there is a small cooking fire in one of the near corners of the room. You see a number of, honestly, probably some very, very worn cots. There's not a piece of proper furnishing to be had in this, aside from those cots. Maybe a stool, the utensils that have a very simple broth on heat, basically.
Splash would just kind of like find a wall to lean up against.
Virgil will just sit by, close to where the food's preparing and just kind of he'll just be happily like reading his little prayer book.
Okay. Dominic, I hope you have something. I hope you have something good to tell. Good news from Orion.
I wish I could say. I wish I could say so, but this is.
He kind of chokes a little bit on some water. Totally not method acting there.
Haha.
Totally not method acting there.
Yeah. The phenomenon that has been reported, they are getting much worse. As you likely could guess, but I was able to actually find where they're coming and going from. They've stopped the excavation above ground, but they've reinforced a chapel about a half a mile outside of the town.
Sounds very suspicious.
It's not half as suspicious as what I found down there, as what I found within. Before Moriarty got a hold on me. I think there may be some truth to the rumor of the Sanguarian being some manner of clerical order. Because I'm fairly certain the creatures I saw within that well, the crypt underneath the chapel. I'm fairly certain those were celestials of some kind.
And he reaches into a pouch on his left side and produces a small charcoal sketch of a creature. Give me just a second. I want to be looking upon this myself as I describe it to you. Besides presenting a sketch of what looks like a humanoid figure with sort of raven's wings coming out of their back, this particular individual there's a sort of a crown that looks almost like it's shaped out of some kind of gold that comes around and completes a sort of oblong halo, what might be considered by some to be a halo, considering the shape and the expressionless nature across this face. More importantly, it denotes a sort of sigil that recurs, at least within the chapel and apparently underneath. An 8 or 9, 8-pointed sort of sun disk. And off to the side on a raw piece of parchment that he has continued to fumble for, you see a weapon that doesn't look entirely that looks like it has this sun disk with one of those points extending out into a sort of a scythe.
Splash kind of looks at all this. That there's a lot of sun-themed iconography.
Can we make a check on this?
I was about to ask.
Absolutely. I'm going to say this will be a religion check. You could either. There's a couple ways you can approach this. For the iconography, you could either make a religion or history check. For the raw features of the creature that is described here, you could make an arcana. An arcana check. It's one of those three.
Alright, Marcus, let's see what all that time spent in Ecclesia left you with.
Failure.
2.
It is somehow 17.
16.
Okay. Aurora.
Hey.
It has been some time since you have seen reference to any celestial quite like this. The various descriptions and the repeating effigies of the sun disk and raven's wings, these are all sort of old carryovers from a very old faith whose records have sort of become the property of Lady Kraith. You've seen them in passing, but you've not really dealt with any of these representatives when they've come to call, nor have you been sent to see them. But this is the type of a celestial that you had thought went extinct. They're called an Othrit.
Can I get spelling on that?
Yes. We will find it in Crucible. You know what? Crucible
Othrit, you
resources. Yes.
Okay.
An Othrit.
Christ, that's right.
They are a specific type of celestial that follows a god, again, that you haven't heard about being worshipped in a minute.
Mm-hmm. Aurora would simply go, huh, no threat. I thought these were way past extinct.
I did not know angels could go extinct.
You'd be surprised.
I mean, if it's theoretically possible, it can still happen.
The question is...
These are serious business. Sorry,
I would
switch
like
go
to,
ahead. No, let
on
CG
the
go.
mention CG first, and then I have something.
The question is, what is a celestial doing in the service capture of this sanguinary? Especially one that is so ancient as to potentially not exist anymore. It's not like you can simply call up something that isn't around.
What's up, Jake?
For Virgil, since you got a 16 on your religion check, I want you to roll again, and you'll take the higher of the two on this particular check.
Do you just want me to put on advantage, or just do another normal roll?
Go ahead and roll again with advantage.
Okie dokie. 20 ween.
There's been the eventually, like, the description hits you, celestials of a god that is not as readily worshipped anymore. The god of oaths and pacts. The old Watcher used to have legions of these creatures at his command. It was once said that every word sworn, every oath sworn, every contract, every pact made by word would spawn one of these celestials to keep it to ensure that its terms were being fulfilled.
Now I remember. The old god of oaths and pacts. Every time one of these would be sworn, a creature like this would be born into existence, primarily to make sure that the entire pact and oath was fulfilled.
I certainly never heard of any such thing during my time in Ecclesia. Granted, after a certain time they began to just shove anything to do with Kinos at me.
It all changes from place to place and over time, but still, the fact that this is still in existence leads me to a number of questions.
Namely, what sort of oath is there that the Sanguarian court has to have ancient celestials watching over it? This bird's ill.
I think this is proving a better lead now than I had expected. This is more information than I could have hoped for.
I have additional information for you. As I am sure that our spy could attest, Moriarty and her ilk seem to have some ability to alter the minds of their victims, where our spy seems to have been fully dominated in some fashion. I was simply left suggestible.
I can help with that. Provided we encounter another one of their ilk. Sorry, you encounter another one of their ilk. I'm not a fighter. No. But I can help when it comes to it.
It took setting myself alight and feeling the pain to snap me out of it.
Very powerful indeed. Should be cautious about something happening to us that may cause us to turn on one another.
If you have ways of guarding your minds, use them.
I am trained in such ways, but I can only do this for myself.
I am sure we will find a way. As for the mission, as I have said outside, I would like to be at full strength and have my full well of capabilities available to me whenever we depart. So I move that we move at dawn.
I can
We can. We could wait at most that long.
I would prefer to be on the move sooner, but
We could move under cover of night. My main point is that I require time for the, as I said, my radiance to return.
I think we need to move faster. They know where we are now.
Your ability is potent, as we are seeing. But if we were to be ambushed before it would be ready, perhaps we could find another place that would be a bit more hidden to take our time.
Yeah.
And that all depends on how many of us can move fast enough. Tell me. And
How long
Virgil,
will it take us to reach the town from here?
Above game, it's roughly. Let me see here. No snapping from point to point. It's roughly about a day and a half's travel from Orain to Claire.
Hey, DM.
Yes.
Question. That's ground travel, correct?
That is, in fact, ground travel.
What about
Outside,
aerial
in the
traffic?
elements. I'm
What
sorry?
about aerial traffic.
By flight, direct. Let me do math. Let me do math real quick. Actually, no, I'm incorrect. I gave you the figures of air travel initially. It's a couple miles more by foot, simply by the roads.
Mm-hmm.
By the road between Claire that follows the Seychelles River.
And the storm's still going on, correct?
It is still raining. It's not a proper thunderstorm at the moment. It's just rain.
Virgil would like to look to the group and go, how many of you are capable of flight?
Aurora doesn't say anything. She just flutters her wings, and there's a cloud of glitter.
I can for a distance.
I can for a short amount of time.
I can help people
Slowly,
fly
though.
if they can't.
Is split. Splash just kind of raises up his feet, and you see boots that have small little wings attached to them.
Those are
About-
so cute.
Just kind of side eyes, and then about 4 hours.
Still, that can
It
help.
seems everyone but me.
Don't worry, I can only hover for like a minute.
I can help
Not-
people fly who can't for about 10 minutes.
That can still get us pretty far. On top of that, it would give us a chance to look at things from a different perspective. Maybe we can see things that no other person could. A bird's eye view.
Definitely possible.
On top of that, if need be, the storm can kind of give us some cover.
Either way, if it is that far away, that is time enough for my rest to restore the spark. So, I suppose my point is moot.
Then it sounds like our next objective is to evacuate.
Wait.
As for the issue of flight, I like this idea. However, I feel I must point out that the ongoing weather, if we were to fly in it, would be misery, to say the least. There would be no cover for us, both from the rain and from prying eyes below, should there be scouts.
A fair point. The thing is, though, how many times do you know an enemy to look upwards to the heavens? On top of that, why would you stay underneath the clouds when you can go above them?
I'm a rock man. Do I look like I belong up in the clouds?
A fair point.
Perhaps we should consider this while we are moving. It is going to take us some time to reach our destination anyways. And we have plenty of time to continue this discussion en route.
Fair enough.
As for the evacuation of the Libroval, or at least our inner circle, we will make sure. Erita will likely be able to make sure that they can leave and head to a safe place. The only reason that we chose this place. And Anton's going to kind of nod at you, Verena. After all, half of this wouldn't be going on without the elves, the elven folk, and their masterwork. We have access to something, I believe I've heard it be called a ley path. It will help. It will at the very least help Erita get the rest of our people out of here.
What do I know about ley paths?
I was about to ask. Aurora has to know what a ley path is, right? Considering her.
I will say
position.
Aurora will. All except for Verena and Aurora will have to make checks. We'll have to make Arcana checks to see how much you know. Verena and Aurora, I'll wait for any interested party to make their check first before I describe it.
I might be able to make a funny out of this.
Yeah, why not?
14.
Is just an Arcana, or?
Yeah, it's a straight Arcana.
Yeah, alright. Please disregard that, but 10-10.
Wily.
And-
shut up.
I believe I once tamed a dog that was able to use some sort of unseen path.
12 chips, isn't it?
Shut
Jake,
up,
take notes.
Wiley.
Jake, take notes. Blink dogs can use the ley paths to travel.
Yes, they can, as they are a manner of fey descended or fey creature. They have an innate ability to access the ley paths.
Ooh, I love the ley path. It's always so pretty going in there. Oh,
Wait, what do you mean pretty?
oh, sorry, Faye. She kind of taps herself. Faye can see the
see.
ley paths differently than others.
But above game, the ley paths are a sort of unearthly road that crisscross the continent, specifically. Oh, Nugget.
Who let this dog in here?
Oh, it's a Blake dog!
Oh, who's a good boy?
Not the barking dog, that's who.
Oh,
A rainbow road, perhaps?
Honestly, that to be entirely brief, to anyone with fey ancestry or a fey creature, that's what they look like. That's like, it basically looks like the Rainbow Road course from Mario Kart. Like, that's what the ground and the ambient space around it looks like, because the ley paths, as the name hints at, are actual physical realms that exist within the ley lines of magic that cross the continent. And Aurora and Verena would have at the very least, probably traveled through a ley path once or twice during their previous adventures. It is not unreasonable to say such a thing.
I don't like them. That place is disorienting.
Oh, it's not that bad. I've been to parties far worse than that.
Well, then I suppose it is a good thing that we are not using one.
No.
You're gonna see Anton kind of reach for one of the wooden beams supporting the about the midway in the room as he kind of walks over to it. As he kind of takes out a dagger and pries at what you think originally to be like a knot in the wood, he eventually pries out a small canister from a false backing within the actual support that was carved into the support beam.
I'll have to hand this off to Elita. With respect, if things are as dire as Dominic says, I think that it's not a bad idea for me to accompany you.
All
The
hands on
Librevals.
deck?
I'm sorry?
All hands on deck then.
I believe so. We will leave it, as you suggested, we should leave at dawn. But I will have Ella to begin to move our people out this evening.
Fair enough.
All right. If you guys have anything else any other questions that you wish to ask Anton or any of the members of the Libra Val, now is the time to do it.
Above game.
Yes.
How far apart are our two groups going to be?
In terms of like the inner circle of the Libra Val and you guys, or
Yes.
so Anton is giving the order for the rest of the inner circle to get out to one of their safe locales. He is more intent personally on coming with all of you.
I understand.
Honestly, miles distance.
Yes.
One of their nearest strongholds is would be the town of Keveray, probably some 23 miles to the southwest. That's likely the place that they're heading.
I go over toward Rockman. Can I have my present back?
Sure. He will hand back the tooth. I kept a secret.
I walk toward the Dragonborn with the tooth in hand. Keep this in your belt for now. It won't last for long, but humor me.
The silver dragonborn kind of takes a look at the tooth, kind of gives it an odd eye for a moment. I'm certain that I can.
I smile. A gap in my teeth.
I'm gonna have Era to make an insight. For a natural one. Thank you.
God, I'm being hexed.
You're not going to be casting any spells on me, are you? I hope.
Spells. No, none at all.
Oh,
I don't see why I shouldn't hold on to this then.
I smile again and her hears a voice in his head. Say nothing to the others, but you can hear me, can't you?
My next question follows as such. Is he able to respond without speaking to this? No. Okay, he has to speak.
Or not.
He has to reply in some way that's perceptible to you.
Yes.
Okay. You see his eyes kind of dart around for a minute, like searching for the source of the sound within his own mind.
I smile again.
Rockman also smiles.
Oh. Interesting. And he will kind of take the tooth, kind of roll it between his two clawed fingers, and tuck it into a pouch on the inside of his vest. On the inside of like the leather vest he's wearing.
No. Keep it somewhere where it can get air.
Okay. He's he kind of searches himself for like a convenient place that would still be like open. It was probably he kind of takes it and starts rolling it between his fingers. I'll keep a good hold on this then.
You better. I am giving you a precious gift I made myself.
I see, and I guess I thank you.
You know, it took a long time to make that, right?
I can only imagine.
Without another word or explanation, I will turn around and walk away.
Strange. If it weren't for the threat of more of the contest earlier, I would be asking myself what is going on with today, but at least there's something. At least there's something similar to what usually goes on. And at this point, Anton is going to take Erita outside of this barracks. You guys will have the time to get a night's sleep. Unless I think we're ready to. If you guys don't have anything else, we can move on from here. Ooh, good to know. Thank you.
I'm good to go.
All Gouda.
Hooey.
The tooth disappears in the night.
Okay. In the morning, you guys wake to just the cots, basically, that you guys were given to rest on. And Anton, strapped up in a traveler's cloak and very well-worn leather armor, hand axes on either side of his hip. This is the closest as we're getting to sunrise around here. At least for now.
Don't want this to be off. Enjoy the early morning sun, and he puts that in quotes. Ear quotes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Aurora yawns.
The morning of the first day of travel, I'll say, given the benefits of your various methods of flight, you guys will be able to move at a fast pace, but due to those advantages, you will not incur the usual malice to perception checks out along the road.
Okay.
As you travel. If you wish to travel at a faster pace above that, using your various methods of flight, and try to just push more mileage, then that malice might return.
As Splash would kind of push for stealth over speed in this instance.
Okay.
If anyone else has a change of opinion on this, by all means, but
I mean, I've passed without a trace, but that's only 1 hour.
What's the weather conditions looking like right now?
In the earlier morning, the day following the rainstorm, or at least the rain showers, there is a sort of a dampness to the air. There is fog. We're probably looking right now, temperature-wise, in the mid-50s Fahrenheit.
Okay, I just want to
So
know.
there's a noticeable chill to the air.
Heavy overcast?
Yeah.
Would anyone be objective if I kept with the group in terms of pacing, but kept, like, up in the sky? Kind of provide a little bit of overwatch?
That's what's going to negate the usual malice to perception, because of your higher vantage point.
Okay. that's the case, I'll take that, and I'll just, take to the air.
Okay.
Do you need me to bring up the flight thing for me, Jake?
I think, if I remember the feature, I think I remember the feature correctly. It might not hurt, actually. Go ahead and put it in the chat for me.
There
Okay.
you go.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's
Nice.
just continuous flight.
Nice.
We have a walkie-talkie.
Yeah, without burning any spell slots.
17th level clerics. 17th level adventurers, even.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
Hey, imagine
3 more.
not getting that naturally, bitch. Haha.
Well,
Yeah, but can you all swim?
hold on.
Shift
The
the eyes.
butterfly in the sky.
I can,
go
just not
twice
very
as
well.
high. Take a look. It's in a book. Yeah.
Okay. As you guys are traveling, I need someone to roll for me. Go ahead and move you should, actually, you might not have control of that token. Controlled by all players. And save settings. You guys should be able to move that token now. Go ahead and move it up to the beginning of the sort of reddish region that you see
What, like
on the map. Yeah, bottom of the square.
Okay.
From there, I need someone to make for me roll a d12. I need someone to roll a d12 for me.
Just one person, or
One individual from the party.
anybody want to
Wiley.
roll it?
I vote Wiley.
Yeah.
Bingus.
9.
9.
Yes.
Okay. Let me make sure I have this tabbed out correctly. One second here. Need to check, make sure I have a spell listed correctly. Yeah, honestly, that's probably going to be good. As you all begin to cross into wilder territory, honestly, a lot more wild territory than some of you are used to seeing. Hard pan to Aurora.
Sup?
Where's the hair salon?
Pretty much.
I would.
I am
I will-
prestidigitation. The hair salon is right here, bitch.
Okay.
Woo!
I am the salon.
No, I'm a cat, not a dog.
Oh, my mistake. My mistake.
Yeah, call me a pussy. That's better.
That's great. Love that. Outstanding. Virgil.
Put that in the quotes channel.
Yes. Yes, you can. I need Virgil, while you're laughing and while you're kecking, I need you to make a wisdom save.
A wisdom save, okay. Uh, 24.
Okay, I need to make sure I have the math on this correct. You do?
What's up?
You just pass, actually.
Okay.
As you begin to feel your own essence be sort of, you find like something's trying to pull your essence, try to pull you like out of reality for like a half of a second, and you, through your more elemental nature, your more primordial elemental nature, you are able to resist that sort of, that very strong tug on like the fabric of your soul, trying to pull you somewhere else.
Could I roll to see what's going on?
Yes.
What can I roll?
I'm going to say that's an Arcana.
Not really all that great with that, but I'll still do it. I'll slap on a little guidance. So that'll be an additional D4 on top of that.
Okay.
By the way, Jake, question. After I roll this, would I still be able to use, like, either my passive perception, or would you like me to do, like, a perception check?
You can make a perception check after we've resolved this, yes.
Of course, thank you very much. Arcana. It's a 14. 16.
16. Okay. You are going to pass on the Arcana. It makes sense because you were informed initially when you arrived about this region, the region around Orain, being subject to a lot of different types of isolated magical events that seem to mess with the very fabric of, for lack of a better term, reality.
Mm-hmm.
This was one of the effects, you think at this point, this was one of those effects described. You felt for a moment like as if you were being pulled forward. Not necessarily in direction, but in time, maybe?
Okay.
And I'm going to DM you the effect of the spell that you saved against.
Okay. Thanks.
You can either read that, you can potentially read it out or describe it as you wish.
Let me see what you send me, and I'll. So, upon this kind of queasy feeling overcoming Virgil and him being able to shake it off, he immediately kind of shakes his head and just goes, oh. I feel a little disoriented. I still feel alright, but it feels like I was trying to be sucked somewhere else.
Ooh. Aurora says in character.
Are you alright up there?
Yes. It feels like time's kind of a little disoriented for me. I should be alright though. And with that, I'd like to perceive. Would you rather have me use my passive or...
What is your passive?
A 15. I do have the observant feat and the alert feat.
Okay. We'll go ahead and let your passive take over here for a minute.
Okay.
Let's see.
What do my special eyes see?
You are able to witness up in the higher cloud layer. You think you see a sort of a tear of some kind in the sky itself for a fraction of a second after you sort of come to and start to get your senses back. And just as you're catching a glimpse of it, that tear into this sort of grayed out, almost like maybe with like the fringes of that tear was almost like a dark, like crimson red. That tear in the clouds and the sky closes.
It would be at that point Virgil would kind of motion to any of his compatriots that are close by to him and go, point to where the tear was and go, and up there was a tear. It seems like reality was weakened there for a second.
Above game, have you seen the movie Nope, Jake?
I have not.
It's good.
It is good.
It
yeah.
is surprisingly relevant right now.
Interesting. Good to know.
But yeah, Virgil relays as much information to his group as possible, and he's going to keep his eyes both on sky and ground, if need be.
Okay.
So he's going to be
Can
extra
I make
careful.
an Arcana check on this?
Yes. I'd say, considering that you had the list of them, the list of what those items were, with a 35, you're also going to know and recognize that was, with what Virgil described, kind of feeling displaced in time. You'd wager that it was likely the effects of a temporal shunt? More likely than not, it was a temporal shunt that, with Virgil being in the sky and the particular tear in reality going there, being where it was, he was likely the closest individual to it.
Perhaps it might be better for you to fly a little lower for now.
Virgil will kind of comply, and he'll go a couple feet lower. Just still keeping the aerial advantage, but, you know, in the, I guess, modern term is fly under radar.
Yeah.
Two things. First
Yes.
of all, Rockman's gonna flex, and he will become more rocky.
Excellent.
Ah shit, he became
what
more
is this?
Dwayne.
D8. You
Ah,
plus
he's-
wisdom. Oh,
Nice. Love that.
get that temp.
Lovely temporary hit points. It's wonderful.
And secondly, I will be actively perceiving my surroundings. I have a
Okay.
21 in passive perception, if that helps.
That will
Nice.
likely help quite a lot. As your party continues along the road, if you would like, with your 21 passive perception, Rockman, I'm going to give you. What did I write for this? Ooh, that's actually pretty good. Okay. The next target of one of the regional effects in Orain will have advantage on their saving throw because of your watchfulness in regards to the terrain. All right. About another probably 4 or 5 hours pass, you guys are able to move about another 15, 16 miles in. Oh, 12 to 15 miles into the region that is seemingly dominated by Orain and this magical fuckery. Notice I didn't say fey fuckery.
That's because we brought the Fae. It has the fuckery.
It's true.
Yeah.
About probably 20 miles out from Orain on the road, I want the entire party to make a perception check as something comes into view, even from this great distance.
Just baseline perception?
Baseline perception.
Okay.
I'd say anyone flying is probably going to get the first chance to see this.
23.
Okay.
14. It could have been a 30.
Hey, 23! Let's
How
go!
appropriate, the two people flying.
Awesome.
What up, flying buddy?
All right.
Talk to me, Goose.
Aurora and Virgil, you'll be the
Aurora
two
looks for
first. You do see a what we would identify here in America, here on Earth as a Canada goose. You do see one on the river, but that's not what draws your attention.
Honk.
What draws your attention is another rift. This one you can see from a great distance. This is easily miles upon miles away. It is I can only describe it as a wound in the sky.
That's big.
Extremely. That doesn't bode well.
From this vantage point, you'd imagine that the actual physical space that this takes up is probably a mile. Easily.
Can I make any form of check on this as to what the cause might be?
Given the nature of this magic, it is going to be an absurdly high check that you will need to pass.
Can I assist?
I probably can't make it, TBH, if it's like an Arcana check or something. Is it a history check?
Arcana is the check.
Okay. I'll go for it. You want to help me, Virgil?
Yeah, I'll help and even slap on a guidance if need be.
Oh,
Okay.
fuck you. I almost got that nat 20. I'm not getting it.
16.
You still have to go.
There's a D4. 17.
Ah.
17.
Air one teed.
Yes, the Virgil Gerwanti. Unfortunately, this is on a magnitude greater than you have ever seen. This is clearly a breach in reality. What's causing it is entirely beyond you.
Can I presume that it's very likely an incredibly bad thing, though?
Oh, absolutely.
Hey, question.
Yes.
Can we, due to our perception checks being as high as they are, would we have noticed anything either coming out or going into that wound in reality?
There is nothing coming out of... You notice nothing coming out of it yet.
Okay, gonna keep eyes peeled on that.
And the last one that Virgil saw, it disappeared, and this one is remaining?
This one is remaining.
Have the rest of us noticed it yet?
This... While Aurora and Virgil have both stopped in the air, the rest of you eventually come to see this rift, this wound of the sky.
I want to use my knowledge to evaluate it.
Make an Arcana check. 21. This is succinctly likely the source, magically, of a lot of the hazards that were described to you. What precisely is causing this is a creature or a being of untellable power.
I have a question, Jake.
From this distance. Yes.
Did we see this open, or are we just
This
coming
is,
upon it and
this is
now
you
seeing it?
this is you guys coming into view of this thing.
Okay.
It has been here. It did not open in front of you guys. This is eventually you guys saw this, maybe weren't exactly sure what it was, but quickly became aware of it in the minutes after.
And this is the rift. Presumably, this is the rift that something is trying to come through. Based on
what you guys have been able to what you guys were able to ascertain in session 0.
Well, I think we found the cause of the strange occurrences.
I wish we hadn't.
You're not the only one.
Okay. Sorry, I'm making a check for myself.
I see.
Because I may do something incredibly stupid. I was going for under 10, so I will hold off for now.
Okay. I see.
With the distance we have from this thing, it would be best if we could give it a wide berth.
Anton has stopped in the middle of the road as he's looking up. Dear gods. That's right over the city.
That's where we're heading then. Great. Woo, yeah, go team.
Funny coincidence, isn't it?
Nothing of this magnitude was here when we last... How the hell did this happen?
They are doing something unnatural.
Anton's... I think if they have stopped whatever excavation up on the surface, that we may need to consider the route that Dominic told us. I'm not exactly happy to fight whatever these celestial creatures are, these winged people. But I will fight them. if it means getting to the
Above
bottom of...
game, do we notice anything else? Sound, wind, etc.?
The weather is immensely irregular at this time. Yes, there is overcast skies, but there are, over the past few hours as you've crossed over into this Rift's domain, basically, there have been patches probably where for 30 minutes where you'd have very strong winds, not necessarily strong enough to impede your movement, but strong enough to be moving the trees and the underbrush, and you've run into areas where that stops on a dime.
Out of curiosity, what's the local wildlife look like?
You have not seen wildlife since you crossed over. And the game, the rabbits or deer that you would have seen on your travels here have been giving this region a wide berth. And you're likely certain you now know why. Aside from the wind and the overcast and humid sky, the overcast skies and the humid atmosphere, it has been eerily quiet, aside from the sounds of your own footsteps. The usual life you would find in a forest is not here. It's as if in these places of these like zones of silence, that the world is holding its breath.
Flash just kind of looks at this thing above us and he says, "Horror blooms in the absence of normality. We really should be moving as best we can."
And we're supposed to close that?
I sincerely hope that whatever is causing it is more dealable than whatever the hell opened it.
Or stop whatever is on the other side from coming through.
I sure hope we have a mending capability big enough for that. Otherwise, we're gonna need to find something big to plug it.
Jake, how far away are we from the city?
By the time you guys catch sight of this mile diameter, or I say diameter, it's an irregular shape that seems to ebb and flow. You're probably about some 15, 16 miles away from when you're first able to see this.
So probably what, still like a day of travel?
Yeah, it's about when it's coming to be early evening.
I want to do something incredibly stupid. I'm going to message you, Jake.
Hey, Tart.
Yes. Hello.
If you do something stupid, I will do something weird. Fair trade-off.
Maybe. Let me converse with Jake first here, because I don't want to accidentally, like, fucking, like, actually fuck something. So give me 1 sec.
I'm watching. I'm watching my DMs.
I will do the same.
Not that exact wording, Jake, but
You may certainly try.
I could try.
You can try. I'm not going to guarantee that it's going to work. I'm not going to guarantee that it's not.
Okay.
That it will. I'm not going to guarantee a success or failure.
Okay. Okay. Aurora. I need to think about how to phrase this first.
While you're doing that, hey Jake, can I have another character sheet? No reason, but
So, you guys have now perceived the greater tear.
That's its name, officially?
The greater tear. That's how it's recorded in Rhodamian history.
Cool. Jake, I am going to use my 9th level spell slot for Wish. Oh, good God.
Sweet Jesus.
What are the exact words of your wish?
I wish for the greater tear above all rain to be closed and never open again.
I need to read this.
This is what I meant when I said something potentially incredibly stupid. See? Here's the thing. This is potentially an alternate timeline. I don't give a fuck.
I'm looking specifically.
I'll be right back. CG's headed to the storm cellar.
Understandable.
As you speak these words, the mightiest words you know how that resonate with your own magical essence, trying to warp reality. No words come out of your mouth.
Oh.
You are counterspelled.
Is it a 9th
That's-
level counter spell?
It's a
What
10th.
to say?
A 10th?
Oh,
Oh, that's some forbidden magic.
Alright,
Welcome to
where's
Ædos,
the...
where F is for fuck.
Where's the, It's 60 feet, so where do I perceive this individual?
You can see this individual
Mm-hmm.
from this. Let's roll on the D100.
Because here's the thing, Jake. If I can see them,
Mm-hmm.
Wish is a verbal component spell, meaning my hands are still free. Meaning I could do this.
Get fucked.
Hmm.
I won't be able to do it at 10th level, but I'll do it at 8th. Well, I guess it doesn't matter if it's under 10th, because I'll have to roll the check regardless. So I could do it at 3rd.
Yep. Another tear begins to open as you open your mouth
Uh-oh.
to the direct north of you in the rip, in about probably 50 feet out where the riverbank begins.
Okay.
Jake,
Yes.
about my plan.
I think that's as this rift opens, as this sort of tear in the fabric of reality opens up beside you, your held action will go off, Sen. It is absolutely fair.
We're getting into dumb fuck stupid shit now.
I can't believe we're getting into the dumbassery.
If it's another day before all rain, I'll get that spell slot back.
Woohoo!
I will have to roll to see if I lose the spell, though.
Yes. Go ahead and make your.
Well, if I get
Check.
counterspelled, I don't have to roll because the spell slot will just be burn and the spell won't go off. So I need to, this needs to be worked out before I need to do that. That's like the last thing at this
Okay.
current moment in time.
All right.
You see Verena reach into her mouth again and forcefully remove a molar. She places it between her thumb and forefinger and flicks the tooth toward the tear in reality.
It will enter the tear. You manage to flick it with enough range and with enough distance and power to get it to go through. As this tear remains open. As we are putting a brief pause on the clock, you are somatic components. You would be burning your reaction. I need to look up something.
I scratch my dog.
Considering, I hate to break it to you, Tart, but Counterspell is a leveled spell.
And I hear that.
And
However,
Wish is another leveled spell. You cannot cast two within the space. This would be within the space of a single turn.
But we aren't in combat, Jake.
This would be within the space of a single moment.
Damn it.
Less than probably a couple of seconds, not even a full turn.
Well,
that is the rules.
Now I'm looking at the internet because now I'm curious because I've actually don't think I've ever considered this.
It's two leveled spells in the confines of a turn.
Yeah.
Your turn would start with your action of casting Wish. You would have a bonus action. You would have a bonus action, reaction, and movement.
Mm-hmm.
If you had a cantrip, if you had a bonus action cantrip, you could cast that, but you cannot cast another leveled spell in this particular instance.
Does anyone else have counterspell? Am I the only one who took counterspell?
Hi, I'm
Tell
Marshall.
me when you guys are ready.
I'm a cleric.
I
don't get that.
Hit things.
I got
Reminds-
banishment.
I got a sword.
Yeah.
I've got a stick.
No, I don't. Yeah. I mean, I could call my god and ask him, hey.
That's entirely possible. You could, if you wish to trigger your divine intervention.
Do we want to do sense thing first?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sen's thing is going to come first. While we're going through that, you can think on whatever you wish to do next. Sen, as the particulars of that feature.
Yes.
If can you go ahead and click on the feature you want to use as you hurtle this tooth into this rift. Your eerie token. Okay, I'm assuming you're going to be using the remote viewing.
Seeing the tooth go into the abyss, Verena will let go of a breath she had been holding for nearly a minute. After a brief pause, she will turn to the others. So, who wants to know what is on the other side of that?
Oh. I am frankly concerned of what we will see if we say yes.
You will see nothing.
It is your sanity on the line.
My molar, however.
Oh, excellent. It is very much your sanity on the line.
You all can have fun dealing with this. I'm going to continue on the road to Argent so that I can go and kill whatever is responsible.
I would like to do this as well.
I'll agree to that. I tried. I don't know if my voice is working again anymore.
Your voice comes through with... Weirdly enough, it comes through without issue.
Ah. You guys aren't any fun. So, who wants to get my tooth back then?
Nope.
Can't hear you, I'm 120 feet away already!
Jake. Humor me. I am going to get a safe distance from the tear, but close enough to see it.
You see a muted... The tear itself appears to be a stretch of the air that is an unnaturally muted gray with sort of reddish, like almost dark red tinges on the side. On the side where it kind of meets with normal space. And this is at first glance.
Are there any signs of where anything came through?
You'll notice that where your tooth kind of went in, where it specifically went into the rift, there is a sort of an almost a hole where reality sort of went back in. Are you familiar with what happens when you drop watercoloring into a glass of water? This sort of effect, that
Yes.
cloud effect. That's kind of what you're seeing there, with where the tooth that you threw in breached this.
Nothing from the other side, however.
You cannot see anything from beyond.
I am going to back away and join the others. Did you notice that?
No, I was busy walking away. What happened?
The world kinda dipped into the portal, like a bit of oil on water. If my tooth can do that, I would assume something coming from the other side would do the same.
Then I suppose we had better get moving and go and close whatever is responsible. Merde.
These are effects that I want nothing to do with.
You might not want to mess with him, but knowing the signs has its advantages.
Fair points. Deal. It's something that we can take note of and muse on as we continue. If things get worse before we make it there, we may have to experience this whether we like it or not.
I think we are continuing.
Yeah. For brevity's sake, you wouldn't... For brevity's sake, moving us forward, you are able to close the distance between yourselves and the town of Orain. Each moment with that rift looming overhead. Eventually, you guys reach a footbridge that a fordable point in the Seychelles River that's still reasonably well covered by the tree line and the underbrush that you could cross over to. As the road seems to, from here on, lead directly to a bridge that crosses into the walled town. Anton begins to head towards the ford.
Splash would like
idea
to.
on our dwarven allies that you mentioned before?
We sent for them a night. We sent for them a night ago. I expect them to. I don't know how long it would take to mobilize their forces. Even with Baron's head start, the lay path. The lay path on the other side of the river, the entrance. I'm not sure if the Sanguarian judges have noticed it, or any of their hirelings. He does, however, point out something to you in the distance. I think, if I recall the lay of the land correctly, that is our goal. As he points out a small round tower that you guys can kind of see peeking just barely above the tree line from this instance. From this distance, rather.
Seems to be rather innocuous at the distance. Makes you forget about all that's going on, almost.
That is it. One can only hope it is a port in this storm.
One I would be most welcome for. I do not like what happens when the lightning flashes.
It's getting to be the late evening by this point, and you guys have the option of pressing on, which I'm guessing by your characters' interactions, that's probably what you guys would like to do. Or you could stop here and potentially rest. And I will say, pressing onward, I will require con checks to avoid con saves to avoid exhaustion.
No,
As you have
thanks.
been
We're in a 17th level one shot. I want to avoid exhaustion as much as possible.
That is something I don't have experience with, but I will defer to someone who has.
How do you feel about disadvantage on all ability checks from here on forward?
Oh, I know what exhaustion is. It's the 17th level one shot that I'm a little out of my depth with.
I vote we rest.
Works for me.
And definitely not because I'm currently missing my 9th level one shot or my 9th level spell slot. Smile.
I would not mind taking a rest here.
Okay.
Would also be a pretty good time for a bio break.
Yeah, it's a really good time for a bio break. As your characters settle in after fording across the Seychelles River, with the Chapel of the Ritz in sight, that's where we're taking our break.
Woohoo! I got meatloaf.
So I want it to be known that I wasn't originally going to take Wish. I was going to be fair, and I was going to not attempt to dismantle Jake's one-shot at the first chance I got. And I was going to take Psychic Scream. And Jake DM'd me privately and said, Tart, take Wish. And I said, okay.
There will be a time to use it. I promise.
He told me to do it.
This bodes ill.
This does bode ill.
When the DM tells you to take a wish, yeah.
The DM tells you to take a wish. And he's been asking me above game questions during private conversations. And now I'm just like, eyes emoji.
Yeah. You don't say.
Eyes.
Smilers.
Smilers indeed.
Celestial creatures are invading.
Yeah. Yes.
We're getting
Yes,
reverse doom.
No, it's Darksiders. Jesus Christ.
Smilers. I'm
Smilers.
gonna
Oh,
go
it's
get a bottle of
Terraria.
water.
Yes, drink some legs,
boy.
stretch some waters.
I need to pee.
Oh
My
boy.
dog is in my way.
Nugget. Doge.
We are getting mood.
We're getting mood. Ah, shit. It's raining cows.
Ah, yes. Dread. The eternal mood.
Let's be real though. You telling Tart to take Wish does not surprise me in the slightest. You basically came into this whole one-shot with a very specific theme in mind.
Look.
Work fuckery?
Yeah,
Oh.
kind of. A little bit. Not to give away too much.
I'll put the
Little
theme
bit.
in. I'll put the theme in the DMs, or in the Discord.
Yeah.
Huh. Gotta say, I still have fun doing these shots.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Brings out the fun.
Yes. Correct.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, I'm gonna get some water too.
Yeah. Acquire your hydration, goons. I will attempt to entertain the chat. How do we feel? How does one feel about? I'm curious, chat. How do y'all feel about the Greater Tear?
Hey Jake, I'd like to cast Mending at 9th level.
Shame it's a metaphysical thing. It's not an actual
showed
physical
my
object.
hand too early. Damn it!
Not if I use Divine Intervention. Zzz, just a giant ass zipper comes down. Zzz.
That's a bold assumption that you think this is a problem that your god alone can solve.
It's a bold assumption that you would roll a 17 or under. Oh, that reminds me. I need to do something.
A bold assumption that you won't think I won't think of a plan.
Wes, I'd like to cast Pants Grab at 20th level. So, funny thing about epic level magic, because it does exist in Ædos, that got dropped today. There are some rules for epic level magic, at least for mortal kind. You have to expend the 9th level spell slot, and you have to have at least 2 additional aid casters, either casting guidance or
Guessing what?
Internet hiccup.
epic level spell you.
Jake, we're dying. Hold on.
You are dying a little bit.
We're both dying. Okay. Try now. Fuck you, Xfinity. Suck my dick.
God damn it, Xfinity.
Continue.
I came back to Dick.
Dick. Dick?
Dick.
Dick Grayson?
Come.
Anyway, so there's some interesting rules for epic level casting in Ædos, because I looked at some rule sets for, and to make it feasible for mortals to cast epic tier magic, which is 10th through 12th level spells, I require the individual to, if it's not a ritual, they need to have at least 2 other spellcasters casting for 10th and 11th level spells, and 4 more for 12th level spells.
I'm back.
Gaia, Tart, take note of this, because there's a non-zero chance that some of that sort of fuckery is going to go on at some point.
Over
I'm
my
not
dead
saying-
body.
You mean over Israel's dead body?
A body
No.
has been discovered.
I'm not saying There's
Wait.
only one spell that's going. It's probably going to be the final encounter. Truth be told, and it's.
I can't believe this entire game of Ædos was all just one giant Amogus game.
No, it's not Amogus.
I don't know, Jake. Seems kind of sus.
Mm.
Are we gonna fight the Moon Lord? I didn't make potions.
Are we gonna fight Dayman, fighter of Nightman?
Mm.
Are we gonna fight the
One
good
day.
fight?
I should hope you're gonna fight the good fight.
I'm gonna die.
I wouldn't say that.
I would. I know
You
my
might.
character.
You might die.
Listen, I know this character. I know where he came from. This man if he doesn't find, if there isn't a point where he's gonna do a heroic sacrifice, I will be very surprised.
Hmm. Where is it? Where is it? I saw it. There it is. Also, I finally found the frickin' being. I found the artwork for that. I didn't have it uploaded yet.
Neat.
By the way, I noticed that you happen to be listening to the Pizza Tower soundtrack as of late.
I have listened to it once or twice.
The death that I deserve, Aeoli.
Yes.
I only listened to the one, the soundtrack, because I wasn't kind of waiting for speedrunners to really get their teeth into that game, and I'm not hoping that there's going to be a GDQ run of it.
Yes.
Hey, Jake.
Dude, can we talk about how SGDQ is the last week of fucking May? That's wild to me.
Wait,
Damn.
really?
Yeah.
The fuck? Oh, that reminds me. Hey, Jake.
Yes.
I'm gonna send you something.
Oh, also, friends. Yoink. The beings in question. I think Sen might recognize something that this is roughly based off of.
That's a Darksiders boss if I've ever seen one.
POV, you're about to be shot in the face by Bayonetta.
Bang, bang, pull the devil trigger.
No, that's not that one. It's the other one.
Y'all bought Angel Blades, right?
I simply pray that he did not alter his stat sheet after the shit that I showed him.
Jake, Jake, I have a real question.
They're not the ones you have to worry about. I've had the stat sheet for the main villain of this selected for a hot minute.
How hot was that minute, though?
Oh, it was, considering that I found a very fitting boss for this adventure. You could say it's very hot. Super hot.
Are we talking like, high Fahrenheit, high Celsius?
Try high Kelvin.
Kelvin Klein, got it.
I acknowledge your reference. So I understand that whoever we face is going to probably have time stop.
God damn it, Jake, did you steal Naylock?
No, I did not.
You better not have.
Original characters, what's that? Said the person whose major DM game was a module.
Ha
I have no idea what
it's
original
still-
characters are.
It still makes me sad.
Stares at my wrestling reference compilation.
Hey.
Stares at absolute shit posting.
Interesting.
Mania's this weekend.
It's true.
It is.
There it is.
Oh my god, it is. Oh,
I
Jesus
heard
Christ.
Also
my name.
Also Super Card of Honor.
What may I recognize?
Ooh.
The handout that was shown in Roll20.
The most recent iteration of it. You might know the inspiration for it.
I know Jake has a thing for angels.
I do like angelic creatures. They are pretty dope. Biblically accurate angels are absolutely terrifying if played correctly.
Oh, you might find this interesting, Jake. Last year for our all warlock campaign, mini campaign that I ran with Vaughn.
Oh yeah.
Did you know what they were basically their end goal was?
What was it, CG? Enlighten me, please.
They didn't know it, but they had to recall a throne, as in the type of angel throne. Which
Oh, one of those.
Yep.
Oh, awesome! Love that.
They needed it because a throne was the in quotation marks a god of an ancient time that had been forgotten and put into a deep slumber, and he was a god of protecting the earth from all of the creepy crawlies out in the astral plane, like Cthulhu, or I would say Cthulhu, but I'm going to use a more hipster option, like Hellstar Ramina.
How about elder evils such as Atropus or Pandorum?
He wasn't quite that level, but yeah. I mean, he would have been that level if the party was higher. Let me just say that.
I'd imagine so.
Yeah. But they were only level 8, so they got to do fun in the sand.
I don't like sand. It's coarse, it's rough, and it gets everywhere. This has been your mandatory Star Wars reference. Is everyone back from their breaks?
Is that the bad guy from the Star Trek?
Tart, I will throw my deck of playing cards at you.
Dork Vapor.
CG, you are not within as convenient a distance. Good use of your location.
Oh, come on, guys. It's obvious what he's referring to. Battlestar Galactica.
RDM or classic?
The worst one.
That doesn't answer my question. RDM or classic?
It answered it perfectly.
No,
Both.
it didn't.
I do think we're all back, though.
Yeah, okay. If we're all back, let's.
This guy
Time
in
is of the essence.
Oh, Wiley, are you here?
Me.
Okay.
Sen is back. All right, goons.
Yeah.
Wait, oh, there's Guy. I didn't hear Guy.
Who killed the Moon
I
Lord?
was afeared.
Let's go beat Terraria.
At Jake's Spotify, the death that I deserve, Yoli.
We already talked about that earlier.
Correct.
I heard that. I just didn't read the fucking title.
I thought you were about to say the only thing I know for real.
That's mine.
All right. As you guys rest overnight, let's see, I'm going to roll one of these. Interesting. Interesting that it chooses that. Good to know. Need to check and make sure he has this on his bingus. Okay. Marcus.
Oh boy.
While you are asleep, you have a dream.
These are usually fun for these types of characters.
Mm-hmm. You come to you come from a sort of a mental fog. The competitions in Aspira Petra, in the Pan Korriban games, kind of drifts away from you for a moment, and you return to a moment to Ecclesia, as you saw the city in your youth. The mountain named after one of the first great saints of the Orthodoxy's church, Halessa, stands proudly in the far distance. And the great temples of the lakeside city dominate the foreground, but the faces of the individuals that pass by you in this sort of space, they're blurred more so than they should be, except for a singular individual of elven descent, it seems. No, not elven. Something different. Maybe half elven. As he closes distance.
Okay.
You are the best that... You are the fighter that the other gods would send? This individual looks very confused as they look to you. Wrong change in the music.
We can't hear the music.
Oh, did it close down? Son of a
Yes,
bitch.
I pinged you in the channel. I was hoping you would notice.
Thank you.
There we go. We can hear it. It started going and then it like stopped and just yeah.
Am I able to speak?
I'm saying I'll bend the rules on this in particular, considering. Yes, you can respond.
It is what they have told me here.
The environment around you kind of shifts. And you're presented now with a sort of a top-down view of the city of Ecclesia as it's arranged in its like 4 or 5 different tiers of religious buildings. The inner circle devoted to Teokos, the outer ring of four devoted to Janarin, Aarta, Sindarin, and Linreos, and an even farther outer ring dedicated to not necessarily lesser gods, but gods that fall outside of that core five. But above it all, there's a focus now on a smaller temple. Eventually you return to the ground and you see a rundown, ruined iteration of the temple as you realize you're not in Ecclesia at all. The foliage is a lot more familiar now. Familiar to you, specifically. Rhodium. This is someplace in Rhodium. As you see the ruins kind of morph back into as if time were rewinding. Until it reaches this point of the pristine nature of the temple. You recognize the symbol of scales etched into a relief on the wall above the gate to this temple's courtyard. I'll give you an opportunity to make a religion check.
Oh boy, I'm bad at those. There it is. 18 anyway.
The symbol of the old watchman, the old judge, Moran, is before you. As the individual steps up once again beside you, you will not stop him. And I need you to make a wisdom save as
Oh. I think my Discord just crashed. Stream. Uh-oh. Yup. Excuse me, don't be in that window. Yo, shout out to Discord fucking got hard crashing just now. It's not even loading back up. It's just a gray block for me. Hold on. Oh, wait, there it goes.
Damage.
He
Hello?
lives. Stomp.
Hello?
Hey, buddy.
Hello.
Welcome back.
Hey, is Gaia dead? Yeah, no, my fucking...
No, Guy is not dead. However, as the dream violently, as the scene transforms from... Actually, no. Marcus is forced to watch as his perspective is torn to the inner sanctum. And a group of 13 individuals, one of which looks not entirely dissimilar, but in a monk's habit to the woman you fought yesterday. You hear words echoed as the dream begins to turn to a nightmare, Marcus. And thus with this power, great watchman, may your eyes scour even time itself. As you see the individual in the center of this ritual circle lift probably a forearm length's worth of a pink crystalline stone into the air.
Fuck you, Jake.
As it shatters and is sucked up into the ether.
Gaia, he's doing it again!
What if I
Son of
told
a
you I've
bitch.
known this twist for... When did we start
Yeah,
the
no,
Horde of the Dragon Queen?
No, I shouldn't be surprised.
I may have access to a document.
Yeah. I shouldn't
Yeah.
be surprised.
What happened?
Hey, Jay Frost. Remember the trip? You remember the Ohio trip game? What happened to the bitch after she died? What she left behind?
Oh, yeah. That bitch.
Well, it's her
Pink
fault for being in Ohio in the
crystals.
first place.
True.
Uh-huh.
Well, Ohio's trying to come to us, and we gotta...
For those of us not privy,
This crystal, for those of us not privy, this crystal is seems to be a recurring theme whenever something is going wrong with
Ædos.
anything in this world.
Yep. Whenever
It's bad.
something terrible is in Ædos, you can find one of these fucking gems in the midst of it.
Well, shit.
Somehow involved.
Somehow fucking involved.
Whether as a conduit of power. Oh boy. It's great.
May I make one last religion check, considering my time in Ecclesia and Azamar access to certain old shitty knowledge?
Yeah.
All
One
right,
more-
Marcus, let's see if you could remember shit this time. Nope.
You know that crystal is evil in some capacity, but you have no idea what manner of evil it is. What specific name could be put behind it.
Fun.
All right. As you guys wake and head towards the temple itself, I'll ask for perception checks from the party.
Okay.
22.
One last time before
Natural
Ooh,
20.
30.
Whoo!
Natural 20 for 31. Good shit, Splash.
24.
22. Deuce.
None of you see any individuals, human, humanoid, or otherwise matching the descriptions provided to you outside of this building. But Splash, you in particular notice a door to a cellar open. Just barely within view from the side.
Hold a moment. I think we are looking in the wrong place. He just kind of like waves everyone over a little bit and he'll point to the slightly ajar cellar door.
Upon approaching the cellar door, you see a long and winding staircase that goes into darkness. You can see an occasional torchlight below. Probably some 30 feet down the stairs that look like they're carved of an ancient stone.
It's been here a while. This stone is aged and weathered, but sturdy. As I look into this thing, can I see if there's any traps or anything?
Absolutely. Make an investigation check.
In the meantime, I'm going to use one of my doses of restorative ointment to...
That's an 8.
You notice no traps, but you do notice that there seems to be evidence of this once having been you see the wooden door, like wooden cellar door, and you see like raised stone on either side that indicates that it may not always have been a wooden door here.
A remodeling job of sorts. Change the purpose.
believe we
He
need
is
to head
going
down as
to.
it is.
Oh, go ahead.
I believe we need to head down as it is.
Agreed.
Good eyes.
Any opposition? Go ahead, CG. Sorry.
If it's all the same to you, I will head on down. I will take the lead.
No,
Any opposition?
allow me to take the lead. They've made it personal.
Seeing that there's a bit of a strange fire in his eye, Splash is going to willingly step aside.
I do not know what they have done to Moran and their followers here, but I will not let it stand. I turned to Rockman. I told you that I did not know where the scales on your staff came from. I lied. As you see him reach behind him into this sort of quiver that's been on his back since you met him, and as he holds onto it, a hilt manifests at the end, and an impossibly long greatsword is produced, forged almost out of gleaming topaz.
Mm.
The size of the blade makes
calling it a sword feel wrong.
All right.
Above game. When you take a long rest, your temp HP goes away, right?
Yes.
Yes. Any temp HP you would have was going away. Could I have a marching order, please? As you unless anyone has anything else they would like to do.
5.
Uh,
Redoing the tireless.
I think Marcus is going first and Splash is following.
Okay. Anton, I'm going to say, is going to
I
follow.
will take third.
Anton will follow Verena.
I could take the rear. Watch our flanks.
And then leave.
Sounds good to me.
That'll
I'm going to
leave.
be constantly recasting Shillelagh, just so we have it.
Okay.
Or
Good call.
so we go into battle with it.
I'ma go last, gamer.
Okay.
Okay, I guess I'm going second to
Jake.
last.
Yes.
We have had a rest since I last practiced dentistry, right?
Correct. Correct.
Would it be okay for me to hold a tooth in my hand without it taking up my hand?
I'd say so. Like for the purposes of somatic casting, your like somatic casting components, yeah.
Pop goes the molar.
Another disgusted expression from Aurora.
Aurora Borealis.
This time of day?
At this time of year?
All time of day, bitches.
Localized entirely within
Verena
this
will
cathedral?
turn around.
All right.
Why give me this look? After all, this comes from your kind. Is Sylvan in?
She blinks at you. She blinks again. Can we move? I'd rather not discuss this. She kind of gestures vaguely at the tooth.
I'm just curious on how you keep growing your teeth back.
I'm glad someone is.
You assume it's growing back and not just, reappearing.
Okay, can we go?
Yes,
Yeah.
as I'm going to bring us to the entry point.
I can't say
Yeah.
Dungeon crawl.
Dungeons!
We're at the
Okay.
bottom.
Where's the dragon?
Don't tempt.
You're not. I'm gonna say this right now. The enemy you're facing is clearly not a dragon.
Vampire.
Wrapped
dragon.
around my staff.
It's got
Draconic
2,400
vampire.
attack points.
Ah, shit! Alright, who brought Exodia?
The monk, remember?
Quick, use Obliterate!
I'm not continuing this joke. Go ahead, Jake.
Sorry.
Before you lies an oblong chamber with rounded ends. Immediately before you all, as you descend the stairs, is a raised plinth of stone, probably maybe with two tiers. One of them a hexagonal base, and the higher of the two perfectly circular. Interestingly enough, the top that you see as you descend the stairs in this, interestingly enough, fairly well lit chamber, by way of small like slits in this otherwise intricately carved. To call this dwarven stonework would be false. This is not dwarven. This is older. This is... The shapes of the carvings are much more organic in nature. Much more natural, if that makes any sense. And most importantly, tethers of this crimson black energy that kind of reminds most of you of the edges of the Greater Tear and the rifts you have seen surround that surround the upper tier of that central platform, and almost like web into the cracks of the stonework. As you guys have this room before you.
It's not often that mere rock unsettles me, but perhaps knowledge of what we're doing here and seeing the lack of normal masonry is disturbing.
I'll say, to clarify, this is definitely worked stone, but the like carvings that cross it are not like what you would expect out of a dwarven carving.
Okay, then I'll refresh.
To clarify.
Okay, then I'll rephrase. This is not. Let's make this not match everything else. Knowing what we do, I have to assume that this is a bit recent. We have two ways, left and right. Any preferences?
Hey, Jake.
Yes.
I'm gonna go ahead and... Would I have had 10 minutes to prep Detect Magic?
Absolutely.
Okay, then I would have liked to have spent 10 minutes ritual casting Detect Magic.
As your magic detection triggers, you sense veins of abjuration magic that are kind of focused in and around the central platform.
This?
Yes.
Let us be a bit wary. There are what appears to be veins of abjuration magic coming from that whole shebang there, kind of gesturing at the bit in the center.
In particular, you notice that there are 4 tethers specifically. You were able to witness these. One that leads directly off to the left, one that leads directly off to the right, one that leads, at least on terms of this map's orientation, north by northeast, and another one that is north by northwest.
Ooh, wait a second. There are tethers. And she's kind of gesturing, like, vaguely, like, in these directions in the air. I wonder if whatever this thing here is tethered to, I wonder if we break these tethers, if maybe this will open, or something will open. I see 4. Who likes the number 4?
I've heard 4 is exceedingly unlucky.
Yeah, it's
Pulls out a
better than
pistol.
3. 3 is too standard at this point.
How do you feel about 13?
There are 4 cardinal directions.
13 is just 4. If you do 1 plus 3, it
Opening
becomes 4.
portals around here could be a very, very bad idea.
A fair point.
Or it could take us where we need to go.
Wait.
Go ahead, CG.
Jake.
Yes,
No,
Sen.
Go ahead, Sen.
I know this is old, but I want to check to engraving to see if I catch anything in the ancient etchings.
You want to check the engravings on the walls or specifically on the pedestal? Okay. As you as you kind of lean forward, I have to ask, do you understand Draconic?
Let's see. Negative.
I will open it up to the wider party. Does any other party member understand Draconic?
Me, bitch.
Don't look at me.
Oh, there's the
Not
comprehend
me.
languages.
Hey, a great spell when you're a politician.
I
Correct.
also happen to know Draconic naturally.
Okay.
I will
Splat.
give CG. I will give it to CG then.
Okay. CG. My dearest CG.
That's
As
false,
you-
but go ahead.
I have something for you to read. For the benefit of the chat. For the benefit of the rest of the call. Apologies, I have this written down, but I actually have to type it.
That's fine.
I'll provide this line by line because written out and carved into this pedestal are four specific like, for lack of a better term, paragraphs, you think, at first, until you start reading them and realize there's a pattern to them. It's an old draconic poem of some kind.
Jake, how did you know I was a poet?
Okay, I have the first two for you, and I'm putting down the others. I'll send those two first.
I weighed ash unto action. The scales I was given, by ruby-tinged scales and weights. On both accounts and meritance, the Jotun all were found lacking, and by word of the red they were chained.
That is some ancient shit.
Can we get a just for the sake of the rest of the party to refer
Yep.
back to? Can we get a visual version?
Yep. As soon as I have it all for CG, if you want to copy pasta.
Was planning on doing that.
Copy pasta.
Pasta.
Yet despite what was owed us in both treasures and opus, the brass-tinged wings broke their chains. Now that time is far gone, the Red's throne forsworn, and the circles fell bend ever broken. It's draconic, ruby-tinged scales and brass-tinged wings. Sounds like we're referring to different dragon colors. Red's throne forsworn, and the circles fell bend ever broken.
Perhaps you'll find a clue further in. Seems
Yes,
like
this seems to
a
be-
puzzle.
It seems to be the first hint of something, but we are clearly short everything that needs to be deciphered here. Let us venture forth.
You must gather your party before venturing forth.
Everyone ready, Q.
Awesome.
God damn it! I went
Okay,
AFK
Q.
again!
Alright, who feed?
I hit X to stall the count.
All right.
Well played.
Q. Okay, so revealing this first area, I'm off ahead of Marcus. You will see a circular chamber here as through the low arch. And you will see another one of these raised plinths with seemingly more grandeur than its other. And across the walls, where the carvings in the first chamber were intricate and seemingly abstract, these are more definite iterations. These are scenes, 4 of them in particular. This one, the 4 scenes depicted here are of what looks like a mass of humanoid figures underneath a dragon sitting on a cliff on this wall here. On this wall here, there is another dragon coming down to speak with one of the more humanoid-looking figures. On this wall, there is that same dragon and that what you can assume to be that same humanoid clashing with that dragon on the cliffside. And on this, there are a great number more turning to face that dragon.
Scene of carnage, a story being told.
This is itching some memories of history lessons in Ecclesia, but I never was very good as a student.
If we are to assume that the previous room had some inclination or hints, this is depicting a scene of one dragon's tyranny and another dragon facilitating his downfall. It could be that this first dragon, the ruler, was the red, chained those below, and then brass-tinged wings broke their chains.
As you kind of turn and step towards the plinth, you notice carved into the base where a person might stand on this. Though across two lines, this is a singular word in Draconic. It roughly translates to indenture, as in to make an individual an indentured servant.
Indenture. Similar to perhaps similar to the servants in this picture, or maybe it's asking us to be willing servants. There's a lot to be missing here. Splash would like to check the other, sections here. So these walls are... There's no, door. This is just more wall, right?
That is more wall leading to a stone door on the other side.
We could continue investigating here. North, south, or west. Or we could just go back the way we came. Thoughts? Something is important here, but I'm still not entirely certain we have everything we need to solve what is going on.
I am out of my depth. I am used to solving problems with a blade.
I'm with him.
If I may. And Virgil will kind of just look to everybody. Give me just a bit of time, and I'm pretty sure I can call upon something for an answer. Hey, Jake.
Yes.
I'd like to use the divination spell.
As in you are casting divination.
Ritual casting specifically.
Ritual casting divination. Go ahead and click on that spell for me so I can see it's...
Yeah, it'll take a little bit of time, because, it's 10 minutes? If you ritual
Okay.
cast.
I'm going to assume that you are attempting to contact the Speaker of Fathoms. Your own god, the god that you adhere to, yes?
Ferotis.
Okay.
And I'm inquiring for him to show us the way as to what we must do in order, basically show us the way to go. Guide us.
Okay.
This is the way. So, thankfully, ritual casting that will mean I don't burn a fucking spell slot.
Good. Good call.
Hooray!
Real quick, are we waiving the material costs? I forget if we were.
I'm waiving the material cost of the spell components for the time being, unless
Good.
yeah.
Okay.
At least the consumable ones
Yeah.
are I'm probably going to keep, but like if they're like above 100 gold
Yeah.
gold consumed, that's where we run into issue.
Yeah. But yeah.
Well, shit.
So,
Sorry, Willie. But Virgil,
yes.
you are asking for divine guidance. You may ask a single question concerning a specific goal, event, or activity.
Well, before I ask that, above game. I'd like to confer with my lawyers here.
Oh no, this is your thing.
Don't ask me. I fucking hate this spell.
My fellow lawyers, attorneys, and dungeon masters.
This is you, bro.
I hate you all, and I'm gonna sue
You literally said, give you time, and that's what we did. This is you.
Anytime I'm GMing and a player whips this spell out, I hate it because every time I've ever given an answer, if it's not pure wheel, then all the players immediately turn around and start fucking off and doing other shit. I hate the spell divination so much.
Eh. Well, if that's the case, I will ask. I will ask for my god to show the way. The correct way, specifically, to go. For us to complete our quest. At least here within this...
Within the confines of this place.
Yes, within this confines.
No,
Basically-
He means ask it within the confines of the spell.
Within the confines of the spell. Like, what is
your question?
What is your question?
Which path must we take? In
That's not a
order...
question that can be answered by the spell.
Yeah.
That is literally a question that can be asked. By the spell.
Specific question concerning us. What direction do you need
hold
to
on,
head
Yes.
to
thinking of-
to head
Yes, which
to
direction
proceed
must we...
forward?
Yeah, which direction must
Okay.
we go to proceed?
Which one am I thinking of?
Interesting.
Oh,
I think
probably
this is going to give you a benefit.
Oh, sweet.
As Ferotus, you feel for a moment, Virgil, your consciousness leap for a moment as you are casting this spell. During its time, your consciousness leaves your body for a moment. You're still as if you're in a trance-like state.
Okay.
And you are taken behind you through a wall, and you are led around a set of stairs that descend into a lower level full of what looks like the tombs that haven't been disturbed in ages.
Okay.
Until you reach a pair of circular chambers on either side, kind of mirroring this higher floor's layout a little bit. Descending into a single staircase that proceeds to a point of blinding light that pulls you out from the spell. I'm going to give you advantage on. You will know the layout of the next floor of the dungeon.
Woohoo!
Thanks to this spell, and you now know the path towards the end of the dungeon.
As soon as all of this transpires, Virgil will kind of, his eyes roll from the back of his head forward and he goes, well, I believe I know where we must go. And he will point out the direction and go, follow me. This is the way.
Yeah, no, I was thinking of the different spell. I was thinking of Augury, the second level,
Yeah.
shitty, really shitty divination spell.
Yeah.
Thank God for divination and ritual casting.
Okay.
So yeah, Virgil will just, as he said, inform the party, tell them everything, and just go the same way that my god has shown me.
Give me just a moment here, as I at least need to reveal the next chamber, as you already have knowledge of that.
Yucky dicky artichoke.
Polygon reveal, friends. It's a hell of a thing. So you are revealed this next chamber, and this chamber on the right.
Mm-hmm.
And more importantly, you know that there is something, and I will mark this wall. There is something behind a particular wall in here.
Alright. And...
Particularly that segment.
Alright.
It has been less than 10 minutes, so I will rule that, Aurora, your detect magic is still up.
If he was ritual casting a spell, detect
Oh,
magic
that would have been
gone down.
minutes. True enough.
Unless you just re-up it during that time.
Potentially.
Leave them down.
Yeah,
If you want to,
could I just
I'm-
ritual cast? it
yeah.
again?
Yep.
Works for me.
As you proceed to that wall, you remember you went through it.
Mm-hmm.
And there is no door here presently as it sits. Where in the vision you were shown a door.
So, I'm going to ask this. Is the wall solid? He will feel around it.
Yes, the wall is solid. It is not illusory in any fashion.
Cool. Busting out the Warhammer?
Do you think that's a good idea?
I mean, it is behind this wall. And, of course, unless any of you can find something to open it.
Hey, Jake.
Yeah?
I just thought of something. You
Yeah?
said I could see these veins of abjuration magic, yeah?
Yeah.
Aurora, kind of fluttering back through the chamber, will look at one of them, and she'll think to herself, and I am going to cast Dispel Magic on one of the veins. And see what happens.
Ah.
I see. Okay. Interesting. As you dispel this tether, this connective tether, I'll ask, which of the four? First, give me a number 1 through 4.
You said
Which one are you
You said
targeting?
it was left, right, and then northeast and northwest, right?
Yes.
I'll go with based on where I'm standing, I'll go with northeast.
Their target.
Discord?
Oh,
Oh no.
Hold
Ah.
on, Xfinity is fucking shitting its fucking pants again. I'll go with northeast, based on where I'm
Okay.
standing.
As you sever that tether magically, you notice that the other 3 remaining intensify in their strength. And although the rest of you see a sigil on this wall take a light, I need you, Aurora, to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh. I need to check something. Okay, that's an action. Okay. Constitution saving throw. Yeah.
Actually, you will make this with advantage.
I can't get much higher than that, but I'll go for it. I didn't mean to roll whatever. 21.
So 21. As you push forward this magical energy to complete the dispel magic, as that breaks apart the tether, there's a sort of a whiplash as you see these tendrils of blackened lightning begin to erupt forth from it, and one of them almost catches you in the chest as Anton pushes you out of the way and takes it directly. Mad! Fuck!
Well, darling, I certainly appreciate that, but I feel like that was... You know what? No, I won't say anything, and just thank you for your service. I appear to have discovered something in here.
What's going on here?
You see Anton just kind of stopped with a scorch mark across the entire, like, from the right shoulder right to the collarbone. And I know that this is a really bad cliffhanger to land on, but for time constraints, I think that's where we're going to have to end tonight's session.
Oh, shit.
Well,
Reshot.
That's fine, dude. The cliffhanger is we've got a puzzle.
The cliffhanger is based on his initial reaction. I think I broke his puzzle.
No.
No?
Not quite.
Okay.
Don't worry, guys. We'll just beat our way through.
Dungeon puzzles just tend to have consequences for cheating.
Correct. You just got your one free cheat. But at what cost?
This NPC that I have, that in character I have no connection to.
Oh, come on, guys. We just need to enter the Konami code. He'll be fine.
This is the consequence of trying the tether skip.
Tether skip.
Yep.
Shit, you clipped out of bounds, now you're falling forever.
Should have.
All right.
Reverse long jump.
I think we need to consider outros.
Yeah.
Who wants to start us off? I'll roll a d6 if someone doesn't volunteer.
I'm Gaia Green. You can find me at twitch.tv/Gaia Green and at Twitter at Gaia Green 3. I've been Marcus, the Azamar fighter.
Okay. Let's go with J Frost.
Hi, everybody. You can find me here on twitch.tv/JFrost747 and over on Twitter at JFrost747. This week, our stream schedule is going to be a little bit up in the air, but things should be pretty good. Probably might do a little bit of something Friday night and Saturday night, too. I want to go see the new John Wick. Let me tell you something. It's worth it. No spoilers. Other than that, hope you all are doing well. Can't wait to see y'all. You can find me also on twitch.tv/FartingTod every Sunday for the War of the Shattered Sun, where things are getting
Spicy.
a little bit hectic.
Spicy.
Super spicy.
Spicy. Smile.
So I asked CG J Frost, how do you like Kratos 2 Electric Boogaloo? Or no, Thunderous Boogaloo.
Not enough boy.
I see.
I'm sorry. You
don't
gotta
want
throw
to
in
throw
more
a
boy.
child into the mix.
Let's be real. It's hard for Jfrost to really get a good scope of what's going on from his hard to see position in the doghouse.
True.
A little bit.
You let me enjoy my Greek tragedy speedrun, damn it!
No.
Yes. Other than that, you can also find me on twitch.tv/BurnoutVaughn for Saved by the Spell every other Saturday. Right now, our students are enjoying a little bit of clubs and everything else. And also, some other things. Smile. But that's it for me. Let's see. CG, where can they find you?
Nowhere, because I don't much care for social media, but you can find me on literally all those things what Jfrost just shilled. So I throw it over to Wiley.
Hello. You can find me at XWileyWilly on Twitch and Twitter. I play randomizers. I started playing Ziggurat, which is like a first-person roguelite, which was interesting. Magic theme, wizards, magic stuff. Apart from that, you can find me at YouTube and Ko-Fi at Wiley Willy. I make music, working on putting commissions, set up stuff together. Still
Woo!
figuring out prices. Soon.
Commission
Working on
soon. TM.
Soon. And I will absolutely let y'all know when it's ready. But apart from that, I can also be found at Saved by the Spell as well. I think that's it. Sen, where can we find you whenever we can find you?
I am Sensuna84. You can find me nowhere because I am a disembodied voice. I can be heard at twitch.tv/Sensuna84. What about you, Jake?
Hi everyone, I am the internet's own Jake. I have been your humble game master for the evening. And I have put a puzzle in front of these goons, and I'm hoping they can solve it next session, truthfully. You have a couple weeks to think on
What do
it.
you mean? All I need is 3 more Dispel Magic castings. Smile?
You don't want... No. I'm gonna tell you above game. No.
Smile? What? I just need to make sure other people are strong enough to take it.
Can't
You
just
got
do
your
it from a
one
distance?
free. You've got your one free.
They got their 1 free. I'm in no danger.
It's a range of 120 feet. Just stand back. It's fine.
Just go back outside.
No danger.
No
Go in the other room.
danger. The weave is a fickle thing. Anyway, you can find me here every other Tuesday. You can also find me over on my own Twitch channel. It's twitch.tv/lejake, LE_JHAKE, where I stream another campaign set in this magnificent setting. The Horde of the Dragon Queen. Maybe one day I'll let Tart find that Dairy Queen.
One day.
One day. Our next session of that will, however, be April 10th, as next week. Maybe more King of the Castle, actually, during that time slot, because that was fun. I'm not gonna lie, that was hella fun.
I agree. Sorry, I was yawning.
Yes. And I believe that just leaves our humble host this evening. Tart, where can they find you?
Hello, you have already found me here at twitch.tv/FightingTart, where I do D&D. I do variety games. I'm doing D&D every day this week. because
Let's fucking go.
Because I'm either really great or really bad at planning. You can find me tomorrow at twitch.tv/HashKingArisen for Bearers of the Torch. As well as this Friday The time approaches soon. We will be having our charity one-shot for the Trevor Project. We are going to be running a one-shot for alongside, or we're going to be running a one-shot for Wicked River 97, Icky Sticks, Grey Cat Cafe, and Gaming for Peanut, as they are going to be a bunch of hectic little goons, fucking little babies scrambling around and going to be causing chaos. Causing a little bit of chaos. We're going to be raising money and awareness for the Trevor Project to help out LGBTQ and trans youths. So make sure to tune in for that. It's going to be a good time. But now we gotta find someone to raid. I'm seeing that Johnny is still on, so I'm thinking we're gonna raid into Johnny because we were streaming earlier with Johnny. So
Works for me.
Sounds good.
My mortal enemy. I mean, what?
Yes.
Let's go banjo his kazooie.
Trans rights. Smile.
That too.
Yes. Everyone go show Johnny some love. Let him know who sent you. Raid message, just borf, 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 borf. And that's it. Thank you all for joining us. We appreciate you, and we will see you all next time. Love you so much, and hope you have a good one. Bye-bye!
Bye.
Boy.